You're listening to Lone Star Community Radio on 104.5 KCZWLP Conroe and 106.1 KZCCLP Conroe and worldwide on irlonestar.com.
Welcome to Chamber Chat. The Lake Conroe Chamber of Commerce is a 501c6 organization that helps promote and grow local businesses and organizations in Conroe and the surrounding areas. If you want to join a committee, if you want to be a part of our incredible volunteer base, you are more than welcome to check out our website at conroe.org or check us out on social media, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, Pinterest, and YouTube. It's Ashley McHenry. Bet y'all missed me. I don't know, maybe you didn't, but hey, I'm back, at least to do the radio show. So I'm really glad to be back, and we have our first guest in the studio this morning. Her name is Kimberly Barahona, and she is with the Dispute Resolution Center of Montgomery County. How are you doing this morning?
Fine, thank you. How are you?
Great. How was your 4th?
Oh, it was awesome.
Yeah.
Really nice time with the family.
Excellent. Yeah, my daughter went nuts for the fireworks, so yeah, it was a blast. So you guys wanted to come on the show to talk about a couple different things, but I do want to start out with talking about exactly what Dispute Resolution Center does, because before I was part of the chamber, I had no clue that this type of service and product was even available for people in our area. So can you kind of go into some detail about what Dispute Resolution Center does and how people can use it, I guess?
Absolutely, yes. The Dispute Resolution Center of Montgomery County has existed since 1988. And our motto is helping people have difficult conversations. And that's exactly what we do. So when people are in dispute or in conflict, whether or not it's gone into the legal system, we can help them sit down with the services of a mediator and work through those problems in a safe, confidential, and peaceful manner.
All right. What type of cases do you guys get? Is it like small claim stuff? Is it divorce stuff? Is it family or domestic situations? What all do you guys get?
All of the above. Once a case is in court, many times the judges will refer them to the Dispute Resolution Center to try to resolve their issues outside of court. That gives them a lot more freedom to come up with solutions. The judges are often very limited by law in what they can decide. So the process of mediation helps them resolve it on their own. But yes, we get cases referred from the Justice of the Peace Courts. We also do a lot of family cases, such as divorce, child custody, child support, those type of cases. We also do a lot of business disputes, debt collection, and so forth.
All right. So say somebody is kind of handed down from one of the courts. What is the process on y'all's end, and maybe like timeline and how things work on your end to kind of get to that final step where they can have that final hearing and kind of, put the case or whatever to bed?
Mm-hmm. Well, once they either decide to come in to try to do mediation themselves, or if a judge refers them, we put them on the schedule. And normally we can schedule a mediation within 1 to 2 weeks, sometimes a little longer. We are now offering both in-person as well as online mediations, so that makes it more flexible for everybody. But once that mediation takes place, like I said, within a couple of week timeline, we provide that, we do the e-filing, make sure that information gets back to the court in a very timely manner.
Right. Good. Very, very cool. I didn't really know, like I said, that DRC or something like this would exist in any place, much less Montgomery County. But it's just interesting to know that there are options that aren't so expensive, so legal, so,
right.
It's so cumbersome and red tape-ish that you can go through. You can sit down and have a safe, confidential, like you said, objective kind of sit down and evaluation of the entire situation that you're going through. And, I'm sure there's so many people that could use your guys' facility and services for sure. How many mediators do you guys have?
We have about 60 mediators that volunteer with our organization.
Oh, wow.
We're always, yes, every year we do more trainings.
Right. So you guys have to go through trainings. Is it volunteer or paid, or how does it work?
The mediators are all volunteers.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
Okay.
But there is training. There's training mandated by the state, a 40-hour training. And then once they've done that, there is a process where they go through and observe and then co-mediate with some of the more experienced mediators.
All right. So there's a process to kind of get where
Absolutely.
get your black belt in mediation.
Yes,
Slowly but
yes,
surely.
definitely.
Very cool. Very cool. Yeah, I mean, 60 people, that's amazing. That's great. And to have people in the community that want to volunteer in that way. And
Yes.
that's a beautiful thing.
We have mediators who've been with us for 20 years. It's amazing.
Do you find that these mediators come from certain backgrounds, or are they just a kind of a motley crew of different people that just want to help?
All of the above. We have quite a few mediators who are practicing or retired attorneys, but then we have people from all different professions. Some are still working professionals and some are retired. So we have everything from engineers to business people, teachers.
Right. So this little old marketing gal could do it if I put in my training.
Absolutely, absolutely. Everybody brings something, a different perspective to the game.
Right. Very cool. Well, the main reason you guys wanted to come on the show today was because you guys have a new grant program that you wanted to discuss and kind of get the word out about. So you want to go into that?
Yes, we are very happy to have received the Community Development Block Grant for COVID Impact. And so we are now able to offer no-cost mediation and conflict resolution training to groups in the community if they qualify under the grant.
That's really great. Like what kind of
Yes.
what kind of organizations might be under this umbrella?
We are reaching out to some of the local nonprofit organizations to see if we might be able to provide training for the groups they serve. We have reached out to Family Promise as one of the groups that we're trying
Perfect
to
fit.
work with.
Yeah,
Yes.
perfect fit.
And also some of the groups that work with the foster kids, the teens.
Like CASA and Angel Reach and
Right,
stuff like that.
Right. So we're working to try to coordinate programs with them.
Excellent.
And later in the summer, we have a program set up where we're going to go out to a senior citizen community and help them with some conflict resolution training.
Who knew?
Right.
Who knew the old folks needed some conflict resolution? That's very cool.
Everybody has conflict in their
Right.
life. It's one of the constants. So no matter what age you
Right.
are, what's your situation, learning how to deal with it better is beneficial.
Right. So this is wonderful. How much is the grant for, or can you say, and how many people do you think you can kind of reach with this type of grant money?
We are hoping to reach 500 additional citizens throughout the county during the time of the grant. We have 1 year to provide those services. The grant, if, for example, you have a mediation pending, the grant would cover the cost of your mediation. And the type of mediation, the cost of mediation varies depending on the type of mediation,
I'm
whether
sure,
it comes
yeah.
from JP court or whether it's family or if there are multi-parties. Okay, so the grant would cover the cost of the mediation or the cost of providing training to your organization.
Great, great, very cool. It's it's great to see that there is such a push, especially after COVID or kind of in the waning or tapering off of COVID. So we hope that there's been this new focus kind of on mental health, dispute resolution. You know, and money's going towards that. You know, I
Yes.
mean, it's been a really tumultuous year for everybody, year and a half now, and. Yeah, we've seen so many people struggle and so many businesses close and so many, you know, divorces and marriages and all this type of stuff, you know, and it's very cool that an organization like yours and, you know, other ones in the area are, you know, asking for this money, getting this money, and then dispersing this money and, you know, the resources and everything that you guys have to help so many people. I mean, 500 more people that are either trained to help each other, which will then, you know, obviously be just a ripple, like a rock thrown into a pond. Just the ripple effect of that could be amazing with all the training you guys can do with that money. And then who knows how many, you know, families you could save or, you know, child custody disputes that you guys can help with and make much easier for the kids that have nothing to do with the situation.
That's absolutely what we're hoping to do. And the truth about COVID is people have been just struggling to keep it together during this time. And I think now we're seeing a lot of the repercussions.
Yeah.
You know, people's savings have run out if they lost their jobs. You know, they may have kept everything together in the family, but cracks starting to happen.
Sure.
So this is really an opportune time.
If nothing else, they've been sitting in their houses all just with themselves.
Right, right.
And that can be tough enough.
That can absolutely lead to conflict.
No matter how much you love somebody, that can be
so true.
Right, yeah. So, but that's wonderful. That's great news. So yeah, you guys have the next year to be able to use all of that and could reach up to 500 people, and in theory, even more than that with the training. So that's really great. That's really great. What are you guys currently up to? Just working on that grant situation, just taking case by case and just seeing how it goes? You guys have any other initiatives going on?
Well, as far as how many people we've worked with so far, we're up to close to 100 so far, and we just started in April.
Oh, wow.
So we're very excited about the mediations that we've done.
Yeah.
We've also completed some trainings. We just finished working with the Education for Tomorrow's Alliance summer interns.
I love EFTA. I love those ladies. They're so great. Hey, Monica and Corinne, what's up?
The students were wonderful. We trained them in peer mediation. And we talked about how mediation and conflict resolution skills in general will help them in their different careers.
Yeah. See, that's wonderful. I mean, to start kids that young I have a 4-year-old, so it's kind of like her conflict resolution is like a timeout and stuff like that at this point. There's not a whole lot of reasoning with a 4-year-old. Right. But, once you do get to older kids and in the high school age and everything, like you've worked with the EFTA, it's such a tumultuous, weird time for them too, with puberty and life and popularity and you know, all that stuff, bullying and everything like that. And to be able to get to kids that are 16, 17, 18 years old and it's like, no, this is how you can handle it. Take a breath, do this, And I mean, that would just be absolutely just invaluable, like for their parents, for their future, for their careers moving forward. With roommates when they move off to college that are jerks and leave all their dishes in the sink. there's so many conflicts that they will come up to,
Right. Conflict is definitely a part of life, persistent part of life.
Right. And to get to somebody that much earlier instead of in their 20s or 30s, 40s, 50s or when it's kind of too far gone is so invaluable for the entire community, for society in general. Right. That's awesome.
And we're in talks now with one of the local high schools. One of our EFTA interns from last year has initiated trying to get a formal peer mediation team going on in her high school.
Oh, that's cool.
So it's not quite finalized, so I won't say the name of the school yet, but we're really, really excited about that.
No, that's awesome for a kid, really, to take, you want to spearhead something that, really serious and something that's so needed. That's really cool.
Yes,
if somebody does want to train, let's start with the training first. If somebody does want to train, how would they get a hold of you guys? And you guys have a schedule of different trainings. Can you come in like a civilian off the street, or do you have to be a part of an organization? And how would you get in touch and do those 40 hours?
Okay, so if somebody wanted to become a mediator, they could contact the Dispute Resolution Center. We just had our 40-hour training, so I'm not sure when the next one is scheduled to happen, but they can look on the Dispute Resolution Montgomery County website, or they can call our office. For any questions about any part of the grant, they can call me directly at 936-538-5424.
Cool. Excellent. So if somebody has a dispute and they're looking to probably get some resolution on it, the Dispute Resolution Center, that's what it's called. That's why they call y'all that.
Yes.
They use the same number and just get a hold of you there. Go to the website.
They can go to the website or call me. They can call any of the numbers listed on the website for grants.
That's disputeresolution.org.
Yes.
Yeah. I don't know how I remembered that, but hey, my brain is a magical place. Well, thank you so much, Kimberly. We really do appreciate it. Do you have any other things that you guys have going on that you'd like to share?
I'd like to talk a little bit about grant qualifications so people know how to qualify for the grant.
Okay, yeah.
The first and foremost thing, the people who qualify for the grant must be residents of Montgomery County.
Okay.
And secondly, we're looking for COVID impact. And what family has not been impacted financially by COVID?
Right.
But we're looking for things like either loss of job, reduced wages, or increased expenses. Everybody had to buy things to keep their kids at home. And
new iPads, new computer, making sure the internet's up, making sure,
Exactly.
Yeah, absolutely. Some Nerf guns. You guys can fight whatever you guys got to do.
And the third area of qualification is financial. We are limited to serving people who are at 80% of the area median income.
Okay.
And so just to put that in context, for a family of 4, that would be a maximum income of $63,000 more or less. And for a family of 2, $50,000.
Okay.
So if you meet those qualifications and you want to find out if you qualify for the grant to either initiate some conflict resolution training or to schedule a mediation, you can reach me at 936-538-5424 or just look for the Dispute Resolution Center in Montgomery County online.
Perfect. I think we've covered it all.
Okay.
Do you think we've covered it all?
I think so.
I want to make sure that we covered it all. I don't want to let you out of here if we haven't covered it all.
I'm so excited for the opportunity to be here. Thank you so much.
Absolutely. Anytime. You just give us a holler over at the chamber. We'll get you back on whenever you like, whenever you got something else cool going on. It's part of your membership, so make sure that you hook it up. Well, thank you so much, Kimberly. Appreciate it. Have a good remainder of your week. And we're going to head off to commercial right now. This is Chamber Chat. We'll be back in a minute.
Second Saturday Divorce Workshop provides unbiased information to help you understand your options and move forward with your life. This divorce workshop is for you if you are contemplating divorce, in the process of divorce, already filed for divorce, or post-divorce. You will explore the emotional, legal, and financial aspects of divorce from professionals who have guided others through divorce. For more information on this divorce workshop, contact secondsaturdaywoodlands.com or call 832-375-0900.
Hey, this is Wayne Green, your host for Radio Wayne, Spoke and More. Each Saturday from 5 to 7 p.m., I'll be playing folk, singer-songwriter, Americana, blues, bluegrass, classic country, Cajun Zydeco, Celtic swing, and whatever else seems to fit. Once again, that's Radio Wayne, Spoke and More, every Saturday from 5 to 7 p.m. on Lone Star Community Radio.
Hey y'all, it's DJ Mike from Dance Time in Texas. Join me Monday through Friday at 8 a.m. as I count down the top 10 Texas Red Dirt songs that are packing the dance floors. I'll be featuring local artists and the story behind the hits, shows in the area, as well as new songs that make you want to dance. It's Dance Time in Texas with DJ Mike on Lone Star Community Radio, 104.5 KCZW and 106.1 KZCC, Conroe, Texas, or online, irlonestar.com.
Welcome back to Chamber Chat. It's Ashley McHenry, rock star extraordinaire at the Lake Conroe Chamber of Commerce. If you guys have any questions about joining a committee, joining the chamber, you can always visit our website at conroe.org or find us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, LinkedIn, Pinterest, or YouTube. We are literally everywhere. But right now, we're in the Conroe Tower, and we are making a radio show with our next guest from Meador Staffing. This is Melinda Torreson. How are you doing?
I'm good, Ashley.
How was your 4th?
Awesome.
Great.
Incredible.
Awesome. Love to hear that. We were talking at the beginning of this show with Dispute Resolution Center and a lovely guest, and enjoyed it extremely. But we were talking about how COVID has really changed for a lot of people. People are working from home, or they're not working, or they're having to figure out how to resolve disputes with their families, et cetera, et cetera. And a big part of that is the money coming in, it's the finances coming in. And since you guys are in the staffing industry, I was kind of wondering what you were seeing as far as who's hiring, who's firing, what are some of the trends that you're seeing within the job market right now in our area?
Yeah, that is such a good question. First of all, thank you so much for having me here and just the privilege to be able to have a conversation with you. And it's interesting, I actually recorded a president's message to all of our employees at Meador Staffing Services this week. We were kicking off our fiscal year and literally just listing all of the things that we've been through, since this past year, which was
champions.
Oh my God, we are
boss.
Like you said earlier, you are a rock star along with all of us. Like I told our team this morning, I really had tears in my eyes, just really thinking through just the gratitude that I felt, and that we are really overcomers. If anybody can go through a once-in-a-lifetime global pandemic and all the things, before, during, and after,
right,
you really are exceptional. And so it's interesting to look back, the last 16 months of just where we've come from. And of course, in the beginning of COVID, it was very, very scary and so much uncertainty with job loss.
Right.
Of course, in March and April and May, you throw in the downturn in the oil and gas industry, and it was just massive layoffs and people, losing their jobs.
Right.
Now we're on the other side, and what we've experienced probably for the past 5 to 6 months is completely opposite, where we literally have at any given time 250 to 300 plus open jobs.
Wow.
And of course, that is, anywhere from temporary to temp to hire to your professional, contract, as well as your direct hire.
Right.
We're not used to this.
Right.
But on the flip side, what we've experienced is it is a true candidate shortage. So there are more jobs all across, every type of vertical that you could imagine and all different types of industry. But it has been like nothing we've ever experienced before. Is just a lack of candidates.
Right. Are you seeing certain, are you seeing stronger upticks in certain industries over others or not?
Yeah, that's a really good question. Of course, the one industry that you definitely see a huge uptick is, of course, logistics, distribution, because of, the online.
Right.
Of course, what you see across the city of Houston is Amazon, building an exorbitant amount of warehouses. And so, companies are definitely in a huge shortage for, anything from a general labor type of individual to a forklift. And so logistics, distribution, warehouse is definitely on the uptick and really, hurting for people. But it's manufacturing. It's really across all sectors, all industries.
I feel like, and correct me if I'm wrong, if as time went on, those people that were in those positions ended up being able to find something else in the meantime. So now, there's so many things that are open that weren't before because those people maybe got a certification that they didn't have before, and so they went on to something else and that type of thing. Have you seen that? Or
yeah, absolutely. The people that were like you're referring to, honestly, I look at them as superheroes because they really did take advantage of, during this time, I'm going to upskill and, revise my resume so that I can come out stronger and better. Right. And they're the ones who really have the advantage. Right. So yeah, they are in a great spot. We've seen huge increases with wages, because of course it's all about supply and demand. So when you don't have enough candidates, and like you said earlier, business is like it's open and it is more open and thriving than ever before. And so, that's one thing that we've actually done at Meador Staffing is really just having just kind of those heart-to-heart conversations with our customers, doing salary surveys, and here's where you need to be. So honestly, from a candidate perspective, if you're in the job market, you're looking for a job that is beneficial to you, is that we are seeing wages increase. Right. And that's a good thing. Right. So
it's nice to hear that your organization is making an effort. Excuse me. Dang, allergies.
Yeah.
Are making an effort to kind of, get your finger on the pulse of exactly what's happening out there as far as like what people are looking for, what people are, asking for as far as wages, the upskills and all that type of stuff. What kind of beyond surveying your customers and that type of stuff, what other services do you guys provide in the way of even like resume, editing, interview skills, anything like that? What do you guys offer in that area?
Like that's our secret sauce. So you just touched on like our sweet spot.
I got you.
And of course, we've been in business for 53 years and truly believe that you have multiple customers if you're in the staffing industry. Not only is it your client who's paying for your services and needing that individual, but it's also, the candidate and the employee that we put on job assignments and or place on a direct hire basis. So there's so many things that we do. From a client perspective, it is trying to have the pulse of what's going on. The beauty of staffing is we work with all different types of, customers across the region, across the state, across the nation. So you are able to have a really good pulse on what is actually happening throughout the marketplace. And so, you know, during COVID, of course, when you couldn't meet face to face, we just started, hey, let's just start doing virtual coffee and conversation with our HR, our hiring managers, to really get a feel for what's going on with them. And then also to tell them on the flip side, hey, here's what we're hearing from candidates. Here's what you need to do. From a candidate perspective, like I said earlier, the secret sauce of Meador Staffing is taking the candidate, helping them with their resume, because that's a lot of the questions that we get, especially, you know, if you're that graduating high school senior. It's how
What
in the
do I
world
list? What do I not? Do
What-
I
what
really
do I
put that I
do?
wash dogs for? What,
Yeah.
really? Do I put that on there?
And it's like, yeah, you do, because that's what customers are looking for. You know, that's the beauty of the marketplace right now, is there are so many companies who are honestly looking for individuals with no experience. They're really wanting to take that individual that has the character, the high school student who worked, you know, during the summers, that college student who put themselves through college, the single mom who has done all the things. So that's, to me, that is a really good thing, is that they're willing to take individuals without experience and train them up. So, but that's really what we do at Meador Staffing. We're all over the place. We're so glad to be in person now. So we're at, in fact, the month of July, you know, check out our website at meador.com. We're at a lot of job fairs. We're at a lot of organizations coming alongside the individual to help them format their resume, you know, showing them this is how you actually do an interview, because now you do not just interviews in person, but you have to know how to do an interview on a camera, you know, on Zoom. And so it's what to wear, how to interact and engage, you know, when you're doing
what's
an
in the
interview.
background?
Oh, all of that. Make sure your dog's not barking when your Amazon delivery guy comes, you know, or just say, excuse me, you know, apologize. We've all been
what
there,
do you
done
do
that.
when that happens?
Yeah. And employers, they keeping it real. This is what they've been used to.
Yeah.
So, but like I said, that's what we do really well at, and we feel like that is a part of our mission and vision and our core values at Meador Staffing.
Right. One thing we kind of touched on was the idea of kind of this skills gap, where there's all of these, excuse me, this is gonna stick around, I guess, where there's all of these entry level type of jobs, people coming out of high school, college, that type of stuff, and out of jobs right now because of the whole pandemic.
Yeah.
And then there's this older generation that maybe has been welding for 30 years and that type of stuff. What advice would you give to somebody coming up, either entry level or somebody that has lost their job through COVID, in order to kind of get, like, to fill that skill gap almost? What advice would you give?
Wow, that's a really good question. You know, there's so many opportunities right now with your local community colleges, you know, such as San Jacinto College, Lone Star College. There are so many grants and huge scholarships that have been given. So I would definitely start there, look at opportunities, especially if you're going to go the certification route. Also, just be willing to put yourself out there. I mean, I really can't stress enough is that employers today are looking for individuals who, just being honest, I actually shared with the Tomball ISD, the CTE teachers a couple of weeks ago, and they're like, "What, Melinda, what do people need to work?" And I went, "Can they show up on day one to the job?
Right.
Can they continue showing up, have good attendance, just be able to communicate?"
And want to learn.
Yes, want to learn. Really, if you just put yourself out there and say, I'm here, I want to learn, companies are willing to pay for your education. Like I said before, companies are paying, you know, higher wages. Companies are willing to invest in you like we've never seen before. Right. So it's just those, what we kind of take for granted, you know, that your mom, hopefully your mom and dad are training you up and teaching you, you know. Those are the attributes that employers are looking for today.
Right. I think curiosity and the ability and willingness to learn is so important in every. It doesn't matter if you're 10 or 100. You know, that is what keeps you young and keeps you just functioning. You know, I mean, my parents are always like, "Well, I got to do my crossword." I mean, even if it's something that simple, there's something like, I'm learning something different. I'm trying something different. You know, and I think another point to be made is, like, the answer. If you don't ask, the answer is no.
That's exactly
You know,
right.
if you don't go out for those grants, if you don't, you know, fill out some paperwork, which can be a pain in the butt and that type of stuff. But, I mean, you can get a full ride to get a certain certification or an associate's or anything like that in a time like this, when people, like you said, are so willing, employers and educational, you know, institutions are so willing to just try and figure out how to kind of fill this skill gap.
Yeah.
When we've saw something that we've never seen in our lifetimes and probably never will. And again, I think that's so key. Curiosity and just going for it. Like, what's the worst that can happen? They're like, no. Okay, cool. I'll try for another one.
Absolutely.
You got some more paperwork to fill out, but that's okay.
But I'm willing to do it.
Absolutely.
And so many people that are willing to come alongside you and help you out as well. So it's finding that individual that, the person to encourage you. You've got to have some, those people in your life with positivity and just optimism and just kind of cheering you on. So,
Absolutely.
and, I think that's the other side of COVID that we saw, like we were talking about earlier. It's the mental and emotional trauma that all of us have experienced. And so I think employers who recognize that, who take a step back and realize, like, our people have gone through a lot. And so it's recognizing those types of things that we've been through and hopefully empowering and like I said, just encouraging and hopefully, healing people so they can helping them get to the other side.
Right.
So,
I think compassion has come into hiring and firing and everything so much more over the last year and a half than has been seen, as at least in my career, in my lifetime, my working career. But yeah, I think that is key too. What do you think about, kind of on the same type of note, there are different employers that are probably focusing not just on wages, but also kind of this compassion piece as far as like offering a more flexible schedule, working from home, et cetera, et cetera. Are you seeing a lot more of that and people, that resonating with people? Or are there still like, stalwarts that are just like, no, you're going to come here from 8 to 5 and put your butt in the seat?
Yeah.
I imagine there's probably a mix of both, but are you seeing like a real influx of more flexibility?
There is. There's definitely that mix of both because, like you said, there's just some that are just, this is their philosophy. This is their mindset.
Punch in, punch out. That's it.
Yeah. And I just believe, that's kind of like putting your head in the sand as you really have to wake up. And so, honestly, it's kind of like with the wages and just the different ways of hiring and how we've pivoted and shifted. I think that's another huge advantage that really for the employee is that customers are now kind of waking up and realizing they're even looking at their resume, like old school type of thinking was, okay, this person has to have a bachelor's degree in communications. Right. They're really revisiting and looking at the skill set and the requirements of the job. Do you really need a full bachelor's degree for communications?
Right. No.
They're removing that from the job description. They're really evaluating the job itself.
I have one, but I don't need one.
Yeah.
Because even when I was in radio before, I was my actual tape, my master reel that I would send to radio stations so I could get hired.
Yeah.
Was on a reel-to-reel. I still have it. It's on actual tape
gosh.
that I cut together with an X-Acto knife.
Oh my goodness.
I'm not using that ever again. Ever again. And my
Right.
parents paid a whole lot of money for that piece of
learn
tape.
that. Yeah.
And it's interesting, especially with more technologies and the trajectory of technology going where it is. What all will you really use? Like I was using Microsoft Front Page to make websites in college, and it's like that doesn't even exist anymore.
No.
It's so weird.
Yeah.
But
It is weird.
Yeah. But if somebody does want some help, if they want some help with their resume, if they want to kind of practice some interviewing skills and that type of stuff, how do they get a hold of Meador? Because you guys have offices all over,
all over the place.
But here in Montgomery County, how would they go about doing that?
Yeah, you just pick up the phone and dial 281-465-4406. Of course, always, jump on to our website at meador.com.
Meador.com.
There you go. And, there's any of us that are willing to help, even, down south, which is where our corporate office is. But our Woodlands team is exceptional. They are, you talk about compassion. That's how I would describe them, is truly compassionate and just willing to come alongside and help. Of course, follow us and like us on all the social media platforms with Facebook and LinkedIn and Instagram. We do a lot of videos. We do a lot of Facebook Lives where we're actually having these types of conversations. How do I interview with an employer? How do I put together a resume? So that's the best place to find us initially. And, that's what we're here for.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Well, do you guys have anything else going on that we really need to know about? Like you said, lots of job fairs and everything. So just keep an eye out all over the Houston area. If you guys need a job, you guys go talk to Meador Staffing and all of their wonderful all of their wonderful employees. I know that like they
Yeah.
always come up. The Woodlands office always comes up and volunteers for Lobster Fest. And
They
they're
do.
always the sweetest.
Yep,
So,
that's their favorite
yeah,
event.
that's my favorite too. I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah.
Lobster and steak. Are you kidding? Like
There you go.
You can't beat that. But thank you so much for coming in, Melinda. We
Yeah.
really do appreciate it. Everybody out there that is looking for a job or looking to hire somebody, get a hold of Meador Staffing. They can help you find the right candidate, or candidates, they can help you find the right job.
That's right.
I just wrote your new slogan. There you are.
There you go.
That one's on me. You got that one for free.
Thank you so much, Ashley. We're working on our brand this week. So thank
Absolutely.
you for the new slogan.
You bet.
Yeah.
All right, we'll be right back with Chamber Chat after this.
Lone Star Boxer Rescue is a nonprofit organization serving Montgomery County and surrounding areas, dedicated to the health and well-being of the boxer breed. Lone Star Boxer Rescue is run and managed 100% by volunteers since 1999. Our main objective is to rescue, rehabilitate, and rehome boxers that come to us from many sources, including local animal shelters, owner surrenders, and strays. For more information about Lone Star Boxer Rescue, visit our website at lsbr.org.
We have the safest food supply in the world. Strict laws and regulations restrict the usage of hormones, antibiotics, and pesticides within our food supply. Production agriculture practices and technologies such as the use of GMOs, which is not any more or less risky than conventional crop production, has allowed American farmers to produce more food on less acres in environmentally sound ways. Find out more online at pathtotheplate.tamu.edu. We are Texas A&M AgriLife Extension, helping Texans make lives better.
Welcome back to Chamber Chat. It's Ashley McHenry from the Lake Conroe Chamber of Commerce. We're so glad that you're joining us today. Happy Tuesday. Hopefully you're having a good one out there. We have a ton of great events coming up at the Chamber. First things first, if you have any questions about any of the events, you want to join, you want to be a part of a committee, anything like that, you can head over to our website at conroe.org. Super easy peasy. Just remember the ORG, because we are a nonprofit, which a lot of people don't know about the Chamber, actually. We're a 501c6 organization. So this is why we do all these fundraisers and stuff. They're fundraisers. Yay. As I said, we have a ton of really great stuff coming up, and you can get some visibility for your business. You can meet new people, meet your neighbors in business, which is always a good time, and probably have some pretty delicious food, because that's how we roll in the Chamber community. As far as the first thing we have coming up, Kevin Brady, our Congressman Kevin Brady, is coming up for a roundtable on July 7th at tomorrow, actually, now that I think about it. July 7th at 4 p.m. right there at the Chamber. That's at 505 West Davis Street. You do have to RSVP because seating is limited. We only have so much space in our boardroom, so we're looking to have probably about 50 people, small business owners, anybody that you know. It's absolutely open to the public. You just need to make sure that you are registered over at conroe.org. We have a drop down that you can pull, and it has our calendar on there. Just click on July 7th, and you will be able to register. Pretty easy enough. As far as coming up the next day, on Thursday this week, we have Morning Mingle. That's one of our networking breakfast, our relationship building breakfast. It's going to be at Black Walnut Cafe up at the Conroe Airport. Delicious food. Their pancakes are out of this world. Just interstellar. They're so friggin' good. So make sure that you come up to Morning Mingle. You do have to register for that as well on our website at conroe.org. So make sure you do that. It usually starts at 7:30. We ask that the people get there around 7:30. The program starts around 8. And don't forget, bring a door prize. If you want some more visibility for your business, that's the way to do it. You can start giving stuff away, bring all your extra business cards, any sort of, collateral materials and stuff that you have as far as a brochure or anything like that. You're more than welcome to bring that as well. And that morning also, well, so you know, it's $15 for members and $20 at the door, or for non-members. Well, so if you're not quite yet a member, you're more than welcome to come for $20. Or we're doing something special this year. If you've known anything about the Chamber the last couple of years, you know that every end of summer, early fall, we do our Stuff the Bus school supply campaign. So we have, we're going to be collecting them at the Chamber Also at Guarantee Bank and Trust there on South Loop West, 336, and among some other places. So make sure that you stay tuned on our website and everything to make sure that you are seeing where you can drop off your school supplies. We're going to start that July 8th as well at Morning Mingle. We're going to have a school bus there, and if you don't want to pay the $15 or $20 on Thursday, a couple days coming up from now, then you can bring a big old bucket full of school supplies, and we'll let you in for free. That's a pretty good deal, I think. I think you get some really good, like fresh squeezed orange juice, delicious, coffee, those pancakes I was talking about. That's it. That's all you need to do. And then you get to feel good because you networked with a whole bunch of cool people in our community that are also like-minded as far as small business support, and you get to give school supplies to kids that are in need. So that's really, a win-win for everybody, really. But yeah, Stuff the Bus is going to go from July 8th there at Morning Mingle at Black Walnut Cafe, July 8th, and then it'll go through July 31st. On the website, we're going to have all the different places that you can drop off conveniently your school supplies. So make sure that you collect a whole bunch of them. In former years, we've stopped at Kroger a lot of times. They have the kits that are already made up for each of the ISDs. So you can buy whichever one you live in. You can buy, ones for Willis, ones for Conroe, ones for Montgomery, or you can buy a combination of all of them. I think they're like, $10, $12, $15 in that vicinity. And then just bring them over to the chamber or bring them to Morning Mingle on July 8th. Pretty good stuff. The Brady Roundtable is going to discuss, there's been a lot of talk, discussion about estate taxes and capital gains tax and that type of stuff as far as business owners and homeowners and property owners in general, warehouse owners, all of that type of stuff as far as they're concerned. So yeah, Kevin Brady is going to be discussing a lot of that. He will be retiring pretty soon, unfortunately, because he's been such a great representative for our area. But he's making a couple last hits around our area. And if you want to see him face to face, ask any questions about potential estate tax or capital gains questions that you have, he is going to be more than happy to talk to you about them. As far as what's coming up for the rest of July, we have our awesome Women's Luncheon, the Athena Leadership Award Luncheon, that's happening on July 29th at Meador Estates. Excuse me. If you haven't been to Meador Estates, it is absolutely breathtaking. And I'm not saying that because they're hosting. It is literally you would never think that it would be right up Fraser Road, right up 75, over on the left-hand side coming north from Conroe, and such a beautiful facility venue for either luncheons like this, weddings, et cetera. They are an awesome member of the Conroe Chamber, and their whole facility is just gorgeous. They're a great one to partner with for the Athena luncheon. If you haven't heard about it, the Athena Leadership Award Luncheon is a luncheon that has a program and awards one local woman who has greatly impacted business, community, all of that here in the Conroe, Lake Conroe area. We got 20 nominations this year, which is the most we've ever gotten. And that's amazing. We've had, 15, 17 in the past, and how it kind of works is that we send all of these nomination forms to Athena International in New York City, and they read them all and send us back the finalists and who they suggest should win. So we have nothing to do with who wins or doesn't win or who's represented and who is not represented. But it is not fixed, we promise. But yeah, we send everything to Athena, and they come back with a certain amount of finalists and one winner. And then we announce them on the luncheon at, July 29th at 11:30 a.m. So it should be wonderful. If you want to be involved in it, like I said, the nominations are already in. They're already to New York City, so that's kind of late for that. But if you want to get tables, if you know somebody that was nominated, then you can more than happy to buy some tables over at conroe.org. I think they're $5.50 a piece for a 10 top table. If you want to support a certain woman in your life that you know that's been nominated, that's a perfect way to do it. And also, there are about a jillion sponsorships that you can also purchase, anywhere from, I want to say $500 all the way up to who knows what. However much you'd like to spend, we are more than happy to take it from you. But yeah, it's going to be a wonderful event every year. It's beautiful, just breathtaking. We have all of the big hitters in Conroe, Montgomery, Willis, Woodlands represented. Some very big names. So, and we have a speaker, LaToya Carter, who is going to be kind of sharing her story as well. So it's going to be really nice. Past recipients have been Dr. Dana Hoyt she was the president of Sam Houston State University, and also Danielle Shiner, the president, executive director of the Conroe Economic Development Council. So again, powerful, amazing, humble, incredible women to come out and support for Athena, for sure. And everyone gets to wear white, and everyone looks super pretty and wonderful. And obviously men are invited too. Support the ladies in your life. Support the ladies in our community. Grab yourself a table or at least a couple seats, and hopefully we'll see you there, because it'll be a lot of fun. We had some great guests today. If we wanted to kind of recap that just a little bit, Dispute Resolution Center has a new grant program that they've put in place. Kimberly Barahona talked to us at length about that. They have, if you want to become a trained resolution, I almost said artist, like a sandwich artist from Subway, but that it's much more important and lovely to be a dispute resolver. But for training different organizations, they've gotten some money that they've applied for to be able to either help you with your dispute resolution or to train you to be a dispute resolver. If you want any more information about how they do what they do and kind of timelines and that type of stuff, if you have never even known that this Dispute Resolution Center exists in Montgomery County, you can find out a whole lot more over at disputeresolution.org. Just like it sounds. Go check that out. They have a ton of information there. And it's an important thing that we all need to be a part of and know about, especially if we have anybody that's going through really, really difficult times through COVID. If it's divorce, if it's child custody issues, if it's business issues with a business partner, anything like that, then they can help you kind of talk through those things and go to court with a clear head. So definitely give them a call. And then we talked to Melinda Torreson of Meador Staffing. We got into a whole bunch of detail about how COVID has changed the entire landscape for hiring and firing and resumes and interviewing and all sorts of stuff. So if you do need help finding a job, or if you're a company that is looking to hire somebody and needs somebody kind of more actively hands-on trying to find you the best candidates, you can always check out Meador.com, MEADOR.com, and get hold of Melinda and her whole team. There's an office down there in the Woodlands right on 45 Feeder Road, and or stop in there and just, see what they got for you. Hopefully you can get a job. Hopefully you can, do some practice interviewing, get your resume checked out and see if you're doing the right thing. So, yeah, that's about all we have right now for the chamber. We have all of these great events coming up, and of course, I didn't mention Lobster Fest. Lobster Fest is very exciting this year. We're finally back in person. The dinner, as usual, is going to be at the Lone Star Convention Center. It's going to be October 7th and 8th. So the dinner's at Lone Star Convention Center, and then the golf will be at Panorama Golf Club, which we loved doing last year. What hosts. They were so attentive and so great, and the course was just in immaculate condition. So we had a lot of fun. And Dick and Skippy were out there for all of it, too, so that was pretty legit. So that was cool. We just gave them a whole bunch of Lobster Fest ale, and we took care of business. It was a lot of fun out there. It was hot as all the $2 pistol, but we had a lot of fun. But so, yeah. Thanks so much for listening. We really do appreciate it. If you want to learn anything else about the Chamber, as I've said, you can go to conroe.org or follow us on any of our social media platforms. Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, Pinterest, YouTube, and everywhere you look in the Conroe area. Thank you guys so much for listening. We'll catch you guys next month for more Chamber Chat.